Estes erron con I de enacomputers.com. Otro video para ti hoy. Just a second. Okay, quick adjustment on the fly, freestyle. This video pertains to a new feature in the future with Windows 10 operating system. In the future, whenever one of their prototypical, proverbial, disastrous Windows 10 updates fucks up your computer, that update may get rolled back. It may get uninstalled. It may get removed, and the feature is going to be called startup failure. Now, I think it's only if it causes your Windows 10 computer not to start up. If it fucks up your printer, as long as Windows boots, I don't think this feature is going to remedy that. But if the computer will not boot properly, then Microsoft has devised a possible solution. And let me show you it on screen. I will link to this announcement from Microsoft and right here. Startup failure. We removed some recently installed updates. That is coming to Windows in the future. However, there's a disclaimer here, and I will get into that. Right now, it's only available on Windows 10 Insider Previews build 18.351 or later. I don't fuck with Windows previews because Windows 10, in the wild, production is garbage. So I can only imagine how terrible preview versions are. And then this version of Windows 10 has not been released to the public yet. I'm not sure. I didn't dig that deep. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure when this is going to become public. But in the future, if your computer does not start up properly due to a fucked up Windows 10 update, then the startup failure might fix it. Now here how it's going to work. Basically, what's going to happen, it's a last case scenario, which to me is stupid. It should be a first case scenario, but according to Microsoft, it will be the last case scenario that update gets rolled back. It gets removed, and then the computer will then possibly boot normally. We can go through this really quick. So startup failures from Windows updates is nothing new, all the way back to Windows XP. And you'll see this message. We removed some recently installed updates to recover your device from a startup failure. Now, Microsoft claims that startup failures are caused by hardware issues, file corruption, or incompatible third-party software. It will try to resolve the problem. Now, check this out. Now, other issues that could cause it is disk issue, system file corruption, invalid registry keys, or other causes. Here's a tip. I know the YouTube technology shills, they'll frown upon this. They don't like CCleaner. I have never ever had a problem with CCleaner. I would be the first one to blow the horn on CCleaner because I blew the horn on Malwarebytes. And you know what I'm saying? And Malwarebytes had a disaster last year that took out hundreds, if not thousands, of computers. Here's a tip. You might want, now, I'm a Malwarebytes, excuse me, no I'm not. I was, but I'm not. I'm a CCleaner Piriform affiliate. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to use CCleaner. You might want to start using a registry cleaner. Let me read that 2 more times. It will try to diagnose and resolve failures due to disk issues, system file corruption, invalid registry keys. Invalid registry keys. Invalid registry keys. According to Microsoft, they're admitting that invalid registry keys could potentially cause your computer not to boot properly after a Windows update. Well, I take things a step further. It could be anytime. You know what I'm saying? You might want to start studying, and you might want to find a registry cleaner. I don't give out advice. The one I use, a seat cleaner, I've never had a problem with it, but that doesn't mean that later down the road, a day from now, 5 years from now, it might fuck up. But for now, that's the one I use, but you can use whichever one you want. Test it out, learn how to use it, clean up the Windows registry with a registry cleaner. Yes. All right, let's move on. It looks like that's the first step of trying to fix your computer by Microsoft. The second step, it looks like the system will try to figure out whether or not it was a recent driver or an update that is causing the problem. Now here's where, actually this is the second step. Microsoft claims that this is only a last resort. That's bullshit. That's bullshit to me. That should be the first step. I don't give a fuck what their excuses are. If your computer booted properly and then all of a sudden you installed a Windows 10 update and now it doesn't start up, it doesn't boot up properly, that should be the first step. Remove that update now, immediately. Don't fuck around. Don't, have some script in the background that, it has a chat, it has a laundry list, and it might be this, it might be a hard disk corruption, it might be, file corruption, it might be, deleted registry keys or corrupt registry keys or invalid registry keys. No, just get if I acted that way with my fucking customers, they would probably yell at me all day long. They already yell at me as it is. If I don't fix their issue, they always get emotional and they get angry and yell at me. And I've been threatened before. Not death threats, not yet. I will let you know if I ever receive a death threat on this third-party website. Cut to the chase. Cause and effect. Thesis, antithesis, synthesis. If your computer was working normally and then all of a sudden a Windows 10 update was installed and now it doesn't start up properly, well, duh! My logic tells me that you wouldn't fuck around. You would have the script, or you would have their remedy, immediately remove that fucking update, and then, hopefully it would boot properly. I'm still fucking pissed off at Microsoft because they disabled the F8 safe mode, for fuck's sakes. I'm a technician. You realize they cost me money? Not only, it's not always about the money. I can't help people fix Windows 10 because I don't waste my time, because I know that most Windows 10 distributions, you cannot press the F8 key and boot into safe mode anymore. So I don't even waste time trying to fix people's, oh yes, that's very common problem on this third-party website, is that the clientele, it's either a Windows 10 update or a software update or whatever, a change to their operating system. And then the computer won't boot up. It just doesn't start up. They get blue screens or boot loops or no screen, blank screen. And a lot of that could be remedied if Microsoft would use their fucking brains and they would re-enable the F8 safe mode advanced boot options. Oh, I feel better. You know what? I don't need to pay a shrink or a therapist $100 an hour for my mental illness. I just yell and rant and rave and cuss and get angry and fucking scream, and I'm all better now. I feel good. All right, I'm almost done with this. So that's it. That is basically this new form of, I think this is the first time ever. I don't ever recall ever with any other Microsoft operating system where they would, now, yes, Windows updates can revert themselves. That's nothing new, but this is a little bit different. This is actually the removal. That update is completely removed. You know what I'm saying? whatever. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that this could be something that is very productive. It would be quick. Windows 10 update fucks up the boot up. Then it reverts itself. It removes that update, and then it boots back into normal. It kind of like a last known good configuration. My technical expertise in the abstract, it sounds similar to a last known good configuration. But nope, leave it to Microsoft to, well, it's a last resort. To me, it should be the first resort. I wish I was wealthy. I would just retire forever, and I would just live in a resort, a very high-priced resort. I would buy out the entire building, and nobody would be around me within about 5 square miles. A man can dream, right? All right. Did you hear about the Christchurch incident in New Zealand at that mosque? You do know about that, right? And you do know that that's pale-skinned European supremacy. I just thought I'd throw that in. I've been studying it. It wasn't fake. No. You know why? Because I watched the video. I found the video. I know. New Zealand government, 14 years in jail if you possess that video, whatever. And I found the manifesto. What's it called now? Make sure. Anyways, I'm sorry. That's my other YouTube channel that was censored. Okay. Let me digress back to Microsoft. Okay. Now, if that update singular or those updates plural are then removed as a last resort. See, with Microsoft logic, if it fixes, if it remedies, if it's productive, if it works, it's good. If it's good, it's last resort. If those updates, plural or update singular, are removed as a last resort, then what happens is that they get flagged and they are not supposed to get reinstalled for 30 days. Allegedly, Windows will prevent those updates from getting reinstalled for 30 days. And it's not for you. It's not because Microsoft loves you and they're benevolent. No, according to the abstract here, this is intended to give Microsoft and our partners the opportunity to investigate the failure and resolve any issues. After 30 days, if the updates are still applicable, Windows will try to install them again. Now, if it's a driver's issue, I'm not going to prolong this video because this is just a trending video report. And so I'm not going to give you, I'll give you a few tips, but I'm not going to make this video very long. Just quickly, you can try to manually install that update yourself if it fails. And then Microsoft removes it, and then it gets flagged for 30 days. You would have to use the Windows Update Catalog. If you've watched some of my videos, you might know, or if you don't know, just perform an internet search. You would manually download that specific knowledge base update, the exact number, and then you would manually install it. You would download, double click it, and then try to manually install it. That's if it's a Windows, I'm not very politically correct this evening, I apologize. Windows updates. Now if it's a driver's update, it says right here, update drivers in Windows 10. If it's an issue with a driver's issue, then you can also manually install that. And I will provide a link to this Microsoft announcement, blog post, whatever you want to refer to it at, in the link of this YouTube video description, and then there are two links. One will show you how to manually install or potentially fix if it's a driver's update issue, and the only other one will show you how to install an update, quality updates. You know what I'm saying? And which are different. Windows does have driver's updates, although here's a tip. I don't recommend that you use those, but it's up to you. I don't give out advice, or I never give out advice or recommendations. But me as a computer technician, a lot of computer technicians are in the same paradigm that not always, but most times, the Microsoft driver updates are inferior to the original equipment manufacturers. But, however, sometimes you may not be able to find a driver for a hardware device, and then therefore you would use the Microsoft one. But if it's but I already went over that. All right. Anything else? Let's see. Here's a last note. If your device is unable to start up properly after automatic or manual installation of these updates, Windows will uninstall them again automatically. Okay. Now, again, this will be in the future, so I hope that I receive views on this video, and so I'm preparing in advance. And so you may be watching this video in the future, and so, but as of now, as of the date of this video creation, it's not available yet. It's only available for preview build. What was it? I don't fuck with preview builds. Preview build 18351 or later. So, and it's not available publicly for any of the production versions of Windows. So, and I don't know when they're going to roll this out. Quite frankly, I don't fucking care, because as a computer technician, I will find out, and it will just exacerbate my mental illness anyway. So I would rather just, not perpetrate any more, see, I'm already worked up, and I'm already just... This could be productive, but I already don't like it. A last resort. Well, you know what? Never use a Microsoft operating system except as a last resort. Adios.